Everyone. In my introduction video yesterday, I promised a video today about why I'm interested in fashion photography. So first off, I thought I'd start off with saying when I decided that I was interested in photography, which was about 5th, 6th grade, and that had progressed as I picked up more magazines, watched more America's Next Top Model, and actually got my first camera in the 9th grade. And I was just taking pictures of flowers and myself and just outings with friends, things like that. And then it kind of progressed into something much more when I decided that I wanted to start adding themes to my photographs, which started to become a lot more fun when I was sitting down and trying to think of concepts. They weren't too in-depth. It would be something as simple as maybe just like teenager stuff. I think there was a punk rock theme, a like school theme. It was just little stuff here and there that I thought of. And the more that I picked up National Geographic magazines that my aunt collected, the more I kind of aimed towards kind of more in-depth concepts, documenting things, which I really liked the concept of documenting with photographs, which I found very important because, when you grow up, you have memorabilia, mainly in photographs or journals, and it helps you remember where you came from and things that you may not remember very vividly, and photographs help bring that out. And I really liked that aspect of it. And I kind of flip-flopped it, not flopped it, to when I started watching America's Next Top Model, and I just loved the creativity and how elaborate those photographs were. I mean, I was drawn to the colors, to the clothes, to the models, to everything about it, and it looked like so much fun. So as high school went on, I realized that was the career that I kind of wanted to go into, fashion photography. And of course, Nigel Barker was my original inspiration because he was in pretty much most of the episodes that I saw starting in middle school. And he did photograph some of the photo shoots then, and I really loved those. And I just really wanted to get a grasp of why he did what he did, how he did it, what inspired him to do it, things like that. And after a while, when I learned to start researching, other photographers and other styles, then of course my list grew as far as who my inspirations were, especially starting college at a contemporary art program. We learned about Richard Avedon and Diane Arbus, and they were huge inspirations for me still today. Richard Avedon, because he would take photographs of celebrities, from the 40s until 2004 when he passed, of course, but it was just, he always used black and white, and that was the first thing that we learned in college. They said anything that you've learned beyond this with digital film, whatever, just drain it out and you're going to start fresh. And that was the very first time I ever picked up an analog film camera, and we worked strictly with black and white film, and we worked in the dark room, and I thought it was so much fun. I hated it at first because I could never get a good print, and I could never get good contrast with my film. It was always really gray, barely any blacks or whites, and then it wasn't until my final for the first semester of Black and White 1 that I had finally gotten contrast, and that's when I was like, okay, I like it, And because I just didn't think I'd get the hang of it, because that's 3 months that I worked hard, and I just could never get the hang of it, and finally I did, and that's when I began to like it, because once I got the technique down, I could work more on the concepts and the compositions. And they would show us photographers' works like Richard Avedon and Diane Arbus, and just what I saw compositionally was just beautiful. And what I liked most about Richard Avedon was that he not only photographed celebrities and things in fashion, he worked with fashion for years, was that he still did real life things. He photographed, I think, over 125 people in the West, which was one of my favorite series of his. Just people that he saw, whether they were workers or just wanderers, nomads, things like that. And I just thought that that was just absolutely beautiful. And he just had such a great way of captivating their life. And I really admired that. And that's something that I kind of wanted to get into. He kind of inspired me to create a book about real people, real lives, who they are, and capturing that. Of course, with school and working part-time, it's kind of been on the slow track, but I still have a big interest in doing that with black and white film. I still have my camera, I still have film, I have a bunch of it, and I would still love to work with that. As far as Diane Arbus goes, her work completely blows me away. It's so real, and I guess you could say it's edgy, it's dark, but that's because she photographed people that no one normally would have. People in mental institutions, people in the circus, and other people saw them as freaks, and she just found them to be the most interesting people, and that's why she loved photographing them. She would just talk about the whole experience from on her way there to talking with them, whatever it was. She just had this ultimate thrill with meeting these people, and I just thought that that was absolutely amazing. That's why she was an inspiration to me, which is another reason why I was really pushing to do this book. And I still really want to. And once we merged out of black and white, we started working with digital, and I never thought I would like digital ever again. I thought I would stick with black and white, but now I'm back into digital color, and I absolutely love it, especially, working with fashion. You can definitely do black and white, but color is very, very important. And I started looking at other fashion photographers' works, and the other photographers that I've grown to love, besides Nigel Barker, is Andrea Claren, Richard Warren, and Gabriel Regan. Their work, it's all kind of linked with as far as what I would like to do, whether it's soft or elegant, or the way that they use the lighting is just so strikingly beautiful. It's just their work really, really calls out to me. There's some very commercial looking fashion photos, but what I love to do, and so does Gabriel Regan, is creating a story with it. I want fashion designers, once I'm a professional, to come to me, say, okay, these are the clothes that I want you to photograph, and then I'll start picking out the models. But while I'm doing that, I'm grasping a story that I want to do, whether it is something kind of like a reportage kind of thing, or if it is something dramatic or mellow and soft, elegant, whatever it may be. That's what I love to do. I love creating stories with photographs, and I feel that you can do that with fashion photography, and that's why I find it so important. As much as I do love captivating real life events, real people, their lives, which I would love to do as my side projects, but professionally I would love to work with fashion and showing that it can be used as art and there can be stories made, when it's not just about the clothes, it's the setting that can be created with these clothing, and that's what I want to do. If that is the direction that I end up going into, I'd eventually like to be a director of photography one day, whether it's for a museum or a TV show or a movie. But I definitely have a strong passion for fashion photography and conceptual art, and tying those both together. But I think that's pretty much all that I have for you today. I hope that you leave more comments. Video responses are definitely welcome. Ask me any questions you may have, or any kind of advice, and I'll think of what I will be posting next. I haven't quite gathered that quite yet, but I will definitely keep you posted.